Good morning, boys and girls. We are working on blends, and I have a morning message for you today. And we are going to be looking for L blends. We're going to be looking for BL and SL. So if you've been watching the videos, hopefully you have seen several different blends. Yesterday was FL. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about what is a blend. A blend is two consonants at the beginning of the word before the vowel. How many consonants? Two. Before the vowel means a beginning blend. Beginning blend. The block of cheese is yellow. I want a slice of cheese. Cut the cheese with the blade. Put the cheese in the blender. The cheese made a big blast in the blender. The blender made a black slick spot on the blade. I had to slam the blender in the sink. So we're listening for blends. B-L, bl. B, what's the sound for B? B. What's the sound for L? L. B-L, bl. And we're listening for S-L. The sound for S-L is combined of two consonants, S, S, and L, L, and the sound blended together is SL. So let's listen one more time. The block of cheese is yellow. I want a slice of cheese. Cut the cheese with the blade. Put the cheese in the blender. The cheese made a big blast in the blender. The blender made a black slick spot on the blade. I had to slam the blender in the sink. The blender had what inside? What did the blender have inside? What was inside the blender? Cheese. A block of cheese was inside the blender. What happened when they put the cheese inside the blender? You remember? There was a big blast. A blender is really not made to cut cheese. Maybe make a milkshake, maybe a smoothie, but probably not cheese. So what happened to the blender? Well, it looks like it made a black spot on the blade. What is the blade? Who knows what the blade is? The blade is the mechanism inside the blender that chops up the food. So if you put ice cream, strawberries, ice, the blade is what turns and chops up the food. So if the blade got too hot inside the blender, it would leave a black spot, a burnt spot on the blade. What did they do with the blender at the end of the story? What did they do with the blender? They put it in the sink. They put the blender in the sink. Okay, so let's listen for BL and SL. The block of cheese is yellow. Did you hear that one? Block. Let's look at the vowel. Block. Short O word. The vowel is in the middle, and before the vowel we have two consonants, B and L, and that makes the blend bl. The block of cheese is yellow. I want a slice of cheese. I heard one. Slice. The vowel is I, and before the vowel there are two consonants. The beginning blend for slice would be SL, sl. Cut the cheese with the blade. A knife also has a blade. You might have heard that word before. Blade. The vowel is A, and before the vowel there are two consonants, B and L. Blade. Put the cheese in the blender. Here's the vowel. And before the vowel, there's two consonants, blender. the cheese made a big blast. Here's the vowel, short A, ah. And here's the two consonants, blast, in the blender. The blender made a black, slick spot on the blade. I had to slam the blender in the sink. So let's talk about the words we heard that had a blend. Block, hope you can say them with me. Block, slice, blade, blender, blast, blender again, black, slick, blade, slam. Okay, so remember we are talking about blends, SL and BL. So now I'm going to erase this. And if we were at school today, we would define words that begin with SL. What is something that you wear around your house? Slippers. What is something you play on outside? A slide. What can you slide down on a sled? A hill or a slope? And if you're at your house and you're thinking of your own words, that's fine. You can think of your own words. You don't have to write the same words I do. What about slam? Slip? Slop? Sled? Okay, now we're going to do a sight word review. These words are lists 1 through 3, or sets 1 through 3. We are going to run through these and say these together. Parents, if your children are still working on these lists, this will be a good time for you to pause the video, and it will be a good time for you to go ahead and write these down. And you can make flashcards on index cards. You can write them on Post-it notes, stick them on the bathroom mirror, stick them on the refrigerator, and this would be a great review for your students. When they come back from fall break, they are expected to be completely finished with lists 1, 2, and 3. So hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. The, of, and, a, to, in, is, you, that, it. Set 2. He, was, for, on, are, as, with, his, they, I. Set 3. At, be, this, have, from, or, one, had, by, words. Let's run through those again and let's see if we can do it a little bit faster this time. The, of, and, a, to, in, is, you, that, it. He, was, for, on, are, as, with, his, they, I. At, be, this, have, from, or, one, had, by, words. Again, if you are still having trouble with these lists, I would like for you to copy these words down, and I would like for you to practice reading these words at home. This is a great opportunity for you to catch up if you are still on one of the first 3 lists. So hopefully when you get back to school on Monday the 12th, we can get our read at home folders and we can get ready for the next list. The Google Meet today at 3 o'clock will be posted on Seesaw at 2:50. I will put the link in Seesaw at 2:50. And if you want to log on, we will be doing a lesson at 2:50. I hope you enjoyed the morning message about the blender. I like making up those little stories and adding those blends in there. Hope you guys have a great day. I hope to see you at 3 o'clock. Bye.